Now, so yeah, disclaimer one, I do not want this presentation to be prescribing anything. This is how I see my beliefs, I see my magic. Same thing goes with everything with magic. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If this isn't, if you don't vibe with it, you don't vibe with it, that is perfectly okay. That is disclaimer one. Disclaimer two. At a certain point in this presentation, I'm going to actually do a magical demonstration. Time actually knows what this magical demonstration is. And at that point, I am going to either... You do not have to participate if you don't want to. You could either just not follow my instructions, or you could deafen. I'm going to say when I'm doing it, and when I stop doing it, I'm going to say undeafen in the chat in like all caps to make sure everyone gets that. And I think that's all the disclaimers. I'm going to check one more time before I get into the presentation proper. If no one has any more questions, we shall begin. So, I am a magical girl who has powers, insane galaxy planet busting powers, multiple forms, many weapons, and I serve under a moon goddess. And I have many past lives. However, simultaneously, I don't even believe that I have a soul, and I believe that on a certain level, I am human. I am a powerless human. Now, you may ask, how is this possible? Dragons of all genders, welcome to my presentation. Alterreality, Imagination, Chunnibyou, and Make-Believe by Xylia of the Wonderlight system. Interactive magic time. This is the time that I am going to be doing that spell. I am going to give you about 30 seconds if you would want to deafen. You do not have to deafen if you do not want it to work on you. And for those listening to this in the recording, it will work if you wanted to in the recording. I'm going to give you the 30 seconds now for folks to deafen. While I do that, I'm going to check on them. That's... Great. For those of you doing the spell, what I want you to do is set your non-dominant hand flat out on whatever surface is in front of you, bed, table, etc. Your non-dominant hand, and your dominant hand just off to the side. And when that dominant hand is comfortable, what I want you to do is just pick a spot on that hand and focus and fixate on that spot. And as you're just focusing on that spot, listening to my voice, hearing like whatever ambient sounds are in your room, what I'm going to be actually doing, and it's not going to hurt, I'm going to be placing a... Sure, you could give spoilers. I'm going to be placing a telekinetic force on that hand. It's not going to hurt. For some, they say it may feel like pins and needles. For others, it makes it feel like a force that's pushing on it. And it's just going to lock and stick and stick and lock and stick to that surface. And as it is just sticking and locking and sticking, I want everyone who actually has their hand stuck, I'm going to check the chat with the dominant hand to let me know if their fingers are most stuck or their palms are most stuck. I'm just going to check chat. For Mahito, it's their fingers, palm. For yours, it's just working great. Whether it's your fingers or your palm, I think you're going to find that if you try to lift your fingers, your palm sticks, and if you try to lift your palm, your finger sticks. Go ahead, try it. And it should be like the longer that it's on, it should stick more. No worries, no worries, no worries. Great. I'm going to give chat a little more time to report their findings. I I'm just gonna let some more folks type. It may, yeah, no, it's how to. That's kind of why normally I stick the dominant hand, but I figured that that you would need to type still, so I wanted to stick your non-dominant hand so you could have a fighting chance. Yeah, and just overtime now, it is on. Yeah, take my phone. I find that I'm going to be perfectly honest. If you are already magical and you have if you have mm, good magic resistance, you can resist it. It's not the strongest thing in the world, but it's my favorite demonstration, and I am a sucker for it. You did your dominant hand. It's okay. I think I'm going to. Your hands should be unstuck now. Just unsticking, as I'm going to say. Undeafen spell over. Sweat glue. Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love that demonstration. I absolutely had to put it in this presentation. I'm gonna not be able to check the chat for the rest of the presentation. Again, if you have any questions, ping me. I'll get to it after. Now, the $1,000,000 question: why did that work? I'm not going to go into all of it because I do not have that kind of time, and I don't fully know how to explain every element of it, but what I did was I put you, well, kind of, you put yourself into this loop over here, where your imagination was activated by my words, triggering your physiology. I find that physiology doesn't come into play for everything, but it definitely comes into play with this demonstration, which which enable your experience, which enable your beliefs, which enable your imagination. And like the the power with that comes from the fact that you did that. It's your magic that did that. It's it's my magic and it's your magic, and that is super cool. And yes, in a way you could, I guess, call it a placebo, but it's really underselling it. Like this is like this is the best way I can explain it. I wish I could explain it more like philosophically or whatever, but this is real magic because it comes from you. It comes from your mind, your stories, your soul. And you're probably wondering, Xylia, now that you told me how this is gonna work, it's not going to work. Well, my friends, that's where you are wrong. Because I'm telling you how it works, I'm giving you this. I'm giving you the beliefs you need, and these beliefs are also backed by science, are backed by research. The beliefs you need to power your imagination, to enable your physiology, to enable your experience, to go into the loop with whatever the hell you want. And next, the next part of this presentation, I kind of figured that this was a little theory heavy, so I kind of wanted to give some examples of this almost being used. And the examples are pro wrestling, the Muppets, and theme parks. I promise you, this is mostly not an excuse to just dump about my hyperfixations. What all these have in common is that they all take you into some kind of created reality. In the case of pro wrestling, it's the reality where it is a real sports tournament. In the Muppets, it's the reality where the Muppets are actual celebrities and are not just puppets. And with theme parks, it's being transported into a wholly different world. Now, I said almost here. Why? Because what I find is not many people who engage with this fully and completely engage with the beliefs. Just using a very recent example with the Muppets, you go into any Muppets social media comment section, and you're going to see people complaining about Kermit's new puppeteer and his voice not sounding exactly the same, when it's honestly just easier and more fun to just believe in the stories presented to you. And come on, man, the frog has been performing for decades. His voice is going to change. Give him a break. And yeah. And with this, I think we get to the $1,000,000 question. How? You know why? You know examples, but what are some practical things you can do to engage with this magic? And I kind of catered these examples to dragons because I believe all of you here, or at least most of you, are dragons. The point of this is that it's a dragon con, but I figure that you can kind of doctor these, change them however you like to fit you. And the first thing that I would absolutely recommend you doing is to create a magic sona. This magic sona could already exist. It could just be your dragon self. But these are very useful for when your belief wavers and when your belief kind of falls through, you can just be and embody your magic sona who fully and completely believes it. Who believes in the magic you're doing, even if I say this in quotes, you don't. And the next thing is, I think I mentioned this earlier. I said this as like an offhanded comment at earlier today, and it made me think of this. Your car is your draconic form. I said car, but it could work for any mode of transportation. Your trains, buses, etc. And kind of the idea that when you are in your car is your draconic form. And yeah, you're just pretending it is, but it's more than that because you're putting your whole self into it. You're believing in a reality that you're creating. And last, but definitely and certainly not least, daydreaming as astral projection. Because, well, I think it should say astral travel because astral projection is something else, but semantics aside, I am so sorry I have to pause this presentation. I'm so sorry, chat. Unpaused. I thought someone called me. They didn't. Da-da-da. This is a very well practiced presentation, as you can see. So yeah. Anyhow, for me, for daydreaming and astral projection, when I practice magic, it's not more It's not more vivid than anything mundane. It's not more, I don't want to say it's not more real because it is more real in a different way. It's not more, I'm not doing anything physically different. The only thing that's different is like I said, I'm creating this reality. So even something as simple as daydreaming, if I decide it's astral travel, it's actual travel. And yeah, and 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 we could sit here coming up with a million more examples, or we could say why. Why this method? Why magic through imagination? Why? And the answer is actually very philosophical. I think we could be here all day discussing it. Because it's fun. It is very, very fun. I have been having an absolute blast. The time of my life doing this. And I could not recommend it highly enough. Again, you don't have to do it. It is like if you don't vibe with it, you don't have to do it. But also just the idea of creating your own reality and just living within it fully is radical in a way, honestly. In a world, in a society that likes nothing more than to tell you who to be, what to do with your daily life, what is meaningful, you could step in and say, no, I decide who I am. I decide what I do. I decide my reality. And I decide that I make my beliefs. And I would like to spend the last little bit of the presentation thinking about the words make believe. Because it sounds really, really obvious, but make believe isn't just pretend. It's making your beliefs through pretend because it is a make believe. So, with that out of the way, make your own beliefs. Believe in magic because you want to. Be a wizard. Have fun. And thank you so much for listening. And now it is question time. It is question time. Anyone may ask questions now. I purposely left a lot of time. I'm going to also just react to the messages. I'm going to do that. Worked way better than you expected. Nice. Mm-hmm. What a waste to use the power of. Okay. I'm going to answer Arian's question first. I actually did touch on that in this slide. On this slide. And if you want to talk about how you can do your specific life, because of course everyone's day to day is different, DM me. I would absolutely love to talk to you about this. But really, it could be honestly anything. Honestly, think back to when you were a kid, what you did, how you engaged with make believe, play pretend, and just do that and believe it. Like, yeah, sure, Mahito. Definitely give them ideas. Definitely. And I'm gonna. I'm sorry. I am not gonna try to pronounce your name. I believe it's Vulenthile. Do you believe imagination just believes a good way to yourself individual to self-soothing help cope? Definitely. 100% imagination and these imagination induced magic is definitely good for that. I have done this. I have done that many times to hope, to soothe. I am going to say I am not a therapist. I don't want to say this is a therapist approved practice because it is not. But yeah, and yeah, Arian, literally DM me anytime. I like I said, this is my main hyperfixation. I would love to talk about that with you. Yeah, that honestly just sounds so incredibly fun. I can't mold souls, but that sounds so fun. Yeah, definitely. And that my Mahito, you actually reminded me of something else. Art is just a I believe that what I'm talking about is inherently a form of art, but just any any art, the drawing, acting and role playing are kind of implied. But like the drawing, music, I have been even going on Minecraft to make my ship. Any kind of art is so good for this. See you, Nimbus. See you. Thanks so much for listening. But yeah, we do have 30 more minutes. Also, welcome back, Ninian. Welcome back. Ask away, Mahito, definitely. While everyone's typing, I'm just gonna. Oh yeah. Yes, yes, Mahito. I'm laughing at what Windows sent, but yes. I am. I feel remiss if I did not mention this in the presentation itself. It is all about intent. It is all about intent. And and I think a lot of people, especially magic practitioners, overcomplicate the idea of intent. It doesn't have to be this whole long ritual thing. It could if you want. Rituals are fun, but you could just say, you know what? Right now, I'm magical. I'm going to do this magic thing. That's intent. And yeah, it's like I said, it's not any. It's a big misconception that I fell hook, line, and sinker into. That especially the reason why I gave the example of the astral is like I had this huge misconception that the astral looks like the physical, but it's so much more real. But no, it's just intent. That's all it is. And Windows, oh my god, I love that so much. it it really is bounty. And shout out to the fact that I am purple, bounty is purple. I once considered kinning bounty. Maybe I will. Maybe I will actually kin bounty. I was too cowardly to not kin him. Yay! Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Very true. Magic does not work without belief. And the thing is, so much. Thank you so much. You can still ask it, Adel. I'm going to answer to the best of my ability with the like I'm not a licensed therapist. Yeah. But yeah. The thing is, for me, and the reason why I got into this so much is because I don't have that already set in belief. So I really kind of needed to realize that you can just. This sounds really weird and really wrong, and I hope you take this in the way that I'm saying it. You pretend to believe. And not saying that your beliefs are pretend, but that you yeah, fake it till you make it, yeah. I'm gonna quail react. Yeah, exactly what you said earlier. Exactly what you said earlier. Yeah, completely fair. I did expect it to differ from people from a lot of folks here, but still, I think every magic practitioner could learn something from this. Um, it's okay. It's very much your Adel. It's very much for your question. Your mileage may vary. It's so when okay. You should do this until it's so it gives you joy, not that it doesn't give you joy. I am not making sense with this because I myself have struggled with this whole thing a lot with the idea of what if I am doing this too much? What if I'm going too hard? And what I'm saying is because I believe every single aspect of your life could be magical using this method. Every single aspect. But if I'm being honest, kind of like, as long as you are, for lack of a better words, touching a grass, being with your like touching grass and living, I don't want to say a healthy life because that means something different for everyone, but kind of living a life filled with joy, living a life filled with joy and happiness, that's what matters. And if I were to say one thing about that, it is don't don't get too caught up in this is too much. I'm doing this too much. I'm going too hard. I need to stop, or this will be maladaptive. Very true, Ken. As long as you don't harm yourself or others, is it a problem? Exactly. Exactly. My point exactly. Take that as it will. Yeah. Hell yeah, Mahito. Hell yeah. Even worst case scenario, if it's absolutely, completely not real, you you make your life a little more exciting. Worst case scenario. That's fun. I do like raining when I work out because I am like a magical girl in the font of shonen anime. But yeah, the more you've improved with running, the more you've improved with flying too. I actually want to while dragons are typing, I actually want to say a little anecdote that I heard from a friend who heard from an old internet post that that this person was in an Alterreal group, even though they didn't have that word at the time, in Second Life, and their avatar was near the fireplace, and they actually felt heat in their physical bodies. So I find that very, very interesting, very cool, and kind of proof that this practice has some precedence in something. Yeah, that sounds so fun. Fly more, honestly. I actually just got some Minecraft mods that that are gonna help me fly later. I'm gonna have so much fun. And we still have 20 minutes. Yes. Oh, that's fun. You're a dragon and your handmates are dragon riders. Yes, the Elite was so good. If you use mod in Minecraft, I recommend the mod Icarus. and do a barrel roll, you actually get like wings, and it feels like the best. It feels like it feels better than any other game. Just Icarus, do a barrel roll, those two Minecraft mods, if you have Java. Yeah, flying is so fun. That's cool. Yeah, no. I could if anyone wants the links for those mods, let me know. And actually, kind of related to what you said, multiple times while walking the Avatar movies in theaters, and I should put this I should have put this in the presentation. Playing even video games. Playing even video games is a great way to do it. Is a great way for this, and just daydream and immerse yourself that you're there. I know later on I'm going to be playing Pokemon Moon and like actually being in Alola. Yes, it's really fun. And Maria, I really like your comment. like like cats could fly if you throw them off a tall enough building safely. Howtopia, I have never heard of that game before, but it sounds cool. I'm gonna actually look it up on my phone. Oh, this looks so cozy. It looks so cozy. It looks so cute. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I don't think this is my kind of game, but it looks so cute. Mhm. Oh yeah, I think I found that mod once. It is very cool. It changes the game too much for me, but it's very cool. Well, I'm thinking of other video game that I recommend for this. Minecraft is a big one because of the mods, and you can like basically do whatever you want because of the mods. But also, any kind of open world is great. Now that I think about it, I don't have this game, but honestly, Skyrim would be really cool for this. Yes, you should do it. Honestly, honestly, I have the game. I just don't have it downloaded. We could if other people would want, we could do like, and if Skyrim's multiplayer, which I am genuinely not sure if it is, we could have like a Alterreal Skyrim group. I think that could be really fun. Ah, Okay. And then it's not accessible for most people. We don't have to. I just thought it would be neat. But yeah, if people don't have any more questions, I am gonna end this panel off. However, genuinely, if you ever want to talk to me about this stuff, I know I'm gonna DM. I know I'm gonna DM someone about this later, and by later I kind of maybe mean right after the presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, DM me. If you ever want to talk about this, DM me. Just yeah, I love talking about this stuff. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.